The Victorian Era, 1837 to 1901, named after Queen Victoria, was a period of significant transformation in British society, culture, and technology. It was an era shaped by the peak of the Industrial Revolution, which radically changed the way people lived and worked. The rise of mechanized production, the invention of the steam engine, and the expansion of the railway system helped Britain become the world's most powerful industrial nation. Cities grew rapidly as people flocked from rural areas to work in factories, but this urbanization also brought severe challenges, including overcrowded slums, inadequate sanitation, and widespread disease. For many, life in the city was harsh, with long working hours, child labor, and little protection for workers. Scientific discoveries during the Victorian era also revolutionized society. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution challenged the long-held religious and scientific views of creation. His work sparked widespread debate, not only in Britain but across the world, influencing fields such as biology, anthropology, and religion. Advances in medicine, too, were significant. The introduction of anesthesia and antiseptics during surgeries made medical procedures less risky, and the development of vaccines helped fight deadly diseases. However, despite these advancements, many social issues remained, especially regarding public health in rapidly expanding cities. At the same time, social and moral values were central to the era. The Victorian middle class was known for its emphasis on propriety, hard work, and self-discipline. Social norms dictated strict gender roles. Men were expected to be the breadwinners and public figures, while women were often confined to the home, focusing on domestic duties and raising children. Despite these restrictions, the Victorian era also saw the emergence of early feminist movements advocating for women's rights, including the right to vote and to own property. Figures like Florence Nightingale and Emmeline Pankhurst were pivotal in driving social change. The period was also marked by the expansion of the British Empire, with Britain acquiring vast territories in Africa, India, and the Pacific. This imperial expansion brought wealth to Britain, but also led to the exploitation and subjugation of indigenous peoples. The rise of the British Empire during this time led to the popularization of the idea of the civilizing mission, which justified colonial rule under the guise of bringing civilization to less developed parts of the world. Culturally, the Victorian era saw the rise of literature that explored complex social issues and the human condition. Authors such as Charles Dickens, Charlotte Brontë, Emily Brontë, and Oscar Wilde used their works to critique the inequalities and moral dilemmas of the time. Dickens's novels often depicted the harsh realities of industrial life, while the Brontë sisters' works explored themes of love, oppression, and class struggle. This period also witnessed the rise of Gothic fiction and a fascination with the supernatural, seen in works like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and the growth of spiritualism as people sought contact with the dead. In summary, the Victorian era was a time of contrast and complexity, where technological and scientific progress coexisted with deep social divisions and a rigid moral code. The legacy of this period is still felt today in areas ranging from literature to social reform and the shaping of modern Britain's global influence.